Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Houston Zoo. My name is Michelle. I'm one of the sea lion keepers. Welcome to our Facebook Live viewers. If you're watching from home, thanks for joining us. This morning we have a training session planned for you all. But before we get started, I just want to say a big thanks for coming out and seeing us here. For those of you who might not know or who are visiting for the first time, our Galapagos Islands exhibit was actually inspired by working with two conservation partners out in the Galapagos. The first is called ECOS. They work with a community down in the Galapagos to promote sustainability for a healthy ecosystem for our future generations. And then we also work with the Tortoise Ecology and Movement Program, tagging the Galapagos tortoise to figure out a little bit more about how they move and how they use their environment. So a portion of your ticket sales or your memberships coming and visiting us here actually help go back to supporting those conservation partners as well as our hundreds of conservation partners all around the world. So a big thank you. Now this morning you're going to get to meet two of our California sea lions. We have a total of 9 here and you're going to get to meet two of our females. The first that you're going to meet is Callie, and our second female that you're going to meet is Gaia. And you're going to see a little bit about what we do here at Sea Lions. We take pride in their health care in a variety of different ways. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what you're seeing and a little bit more about the California sea lion. So as you're looking at them moving around, commonly we get asked if they are seals, but these are in fact sea lions. There are actually 3 main differences that you can tell between a seal and a sea lion. The first are their ears. You will notice right behind their ears they have external ear flaps on the side of their head, just like you and I do. Seals, on the other hand, they have openings in the side of their head, very similar to a bird or a reptile. The other difference is you can actually see them doing it right now, is how they move around on land. So you will notice that our sea lions can tuck up their hind flippers underneath them and walk on all fours, very similar to a dog. Seals, on the other hand, they move along the ground similar to a caterpillar. It's called galumping. Callie can show you a nice impersonation of a seal. Now the final difference is actually the way that they swim. Sea lions use their large front flippers to propel themselves through the water. You can see them swimming around right now and using those front flippers to jump up out onto our demo rock area. Sea lions can swim to speeds of up to 25 miles and jump about 9-10 feet out of the air. So that's pretty impressive. Seals, on the other hand, they use their back flippers to move around in the water. And so that is another difference. Now, like I said, you're seeing two of our females. On your left is Callie working with keeper Amanda. She's going to say hello to you all and a good morning. And then on our right, we have keeper Maggie working with Gaia. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you're going to be seeing. So with Callie and Amanda, you're going to be seeing our morning med check, as we like to call it. Husbandry is very important to us here at Sea Lions. Callie is actually 21 years old, and sea lions in human care can actually outlive their ocean counterparts by 10 or plus years. And that's right, Callie. And that is because we do daily medical exams on them. So every day we will look all over them. We can look at their flippers, as you were just seeing. We look at both sets of flippers and both sides. We can also look at their back, and then we can also look at their bellies. And continuing on that med check, as we call it, we can look at their mouth, ooh, and their eyes. Now, we can take it a step further with them. We can actually brush their teeth. We do that about once a day, and we can also have them drink water. They have all been trained to drink water from a water bottle because sea lions naturally get water from their fish, and so since they are living with us, we can actually give them that extra hydration because as they get older, just like you and I, and we need more water for our kidneys. Same goes for the sea lions. Now we can also do a variety of other things, and it's all voluntary, which means they get to choose if they want to participate. And that we can also do voluntary x-rays, sonograms, and even blood draws on the sea lions to help them stay happy and healthy much longer. Now, not only is that physical care really important to us, but their mental care is important to us as well. So as you were noticing, Callie doing some of our guests' favorite behaviors, they are constantly learning their entire life. And so these behaviors are behaviors that they are learning or they have learned, and then it also enables them to get some of that extra exercise just like we need. Now, talking a little bit more about kind of how our sea lions are learning, not only on the physical side, but we also teach them new behaviors. They're called novel behaviors or new to them. And this keeps their mind stimulated in a variety of different ways. And so that is what you actually see happening with Maggie and Gaia this morning. Gaia is learning a brand new behavior. It's called porpoise. And the end goal is she's going to jump around and porpoise, as it's called, around our exhibit. It's a naturally occurring behavior that happens out in the ocean when sea lions are swimming really fast to get more food. They use this behavior called porpoise. So what Maggie is doing is she's actually just kind of getting Gaia a little bit familiar with moving a bit quick. Gaia likes to kind of move around a little bit slower. And so Maggie is using a target pole. It is a tool that we use similar to a hand target that Maggie just showed. And the sea lions are all trained to touch either that hand target or that target pole. So I like to say that wherever their nose goes, the rest of them isn't too far behind because all of that momentum is going with those targets. Now we're also using what's called a bridge. It actually bridges the gap between doing something correct and then their reinforcement. So you might be hearing them use a verbal bridge. That's our common one. We can also use a whistle. Anything that just distinguishes that they've done something correct and then they're getting that reinforcement. Now what Maggie's working on is she's trying to get Gaia to jump up and then kind of arch over, and so she's using that target pole because it helps her extend out over the water. If she was just using that hand target, she wouldn't be able to get out very far, and so that target pole is actually that nice tool that helps add that extension. Now here she goes. Maggie tossed out some food and then is using the target to kind of help guide Gaia where we want her to go. This process can take anywhere from a few training sessions to a few years. It just depends on what we are working on and how long it takes. Just like you and I, they all learn at different speeds as well. Now, a really unique thing about Gaia is she was actually found stranded when she was young, and she was actually entangled in fishing line. So here at Sea Lions, we actually go out to our Surfside jetty once a month and do a beach cleanup and educate the fishermen down there about why it's really important to put their fishing line in proper containers. We've worked with our facilities team here to install monofilament bins, which you can actually see on your way out of the amphitheater. And this has been proven to show that we have decreased the amount of fishing line found on our Surfside jetty, and that way we can help keep our animals like Gaia, those out in the wild, safe. Now, you probably were noticing that they were also drinking some water earlier. If you are interested, in a few weeks here, we're having brew at the zoo here at the where our Galapagos Islands exhibit will be open for you all to walk on through and see. We hope that you will come out and join us. Once again, that's brew at the zoo, and it's happening here in a few weeks. And Callie wanted to say a big thank you for coming out and seeing us today. Our training session will be wrapping up here momentarily, and you will notice at the end of that session when we say goodbye, the session is over. However, we like to give them a few little treats at the end to help make them feel excited, and that is actually Jell-O that they are getting. It's unflavored and unsweetened gelatin. The color doesn't really matter to them. It's more fun for us. But once again, it is another great source of hydration. Well, thank you all so much for coming out and seeing us today. If you have any questions, feel free to come on over, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day here at the Houston Zoo. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining online.